G'day. You may have missed this story in recent days published in the Guardian newspaper. It's about a young woman in the UK called Sasha Johnson and a murder attempt on her life. She was shot in the head. She was a Black Lives activist. Some people have been arrested for this. We still don't know the full details. And she's fighting for her life now in hospital in London. Of course, this was publicised around the world. Murdoch's Sky News here in Australia also carried a factual report. But what then happened was this avalanche of comment. The comments were more than 10,000 in number, and it's still just under 10,000. The vast bulk of the comments which emerged were vile. They attacked this young woman's race. Many of them celebrated the act of violence against her and even encouraged others to commit similar acts of violence. This makes my blood boil. Because when these sentiments are expressed in comments on Murdoch's YouTube channel and they stay up there for days and days and days, guess what effect it has? People read them. Far-right sentiment in this country, Australia, is fueled. Far-right racist sentiment is fueled even further. And the result is that somehow, over time, it becomes legitimised and normalised. That's not the Australia, or the kind of Australia, I want to see for the future. I tried to do something about this. Several days ago, I wrote to the head of Google, copied it to the head of Murdoch's media outfit in Sydney, a guy called Michael Miller, and asked them to take these comments down. For Sky News, that's the Murdoch outfit, zero action. And in fact, what they've done since then is provide a pathetic defence of their behaviour through one of their minor media factotums on Sky itself.
We've had a bit of fun with Kevin Rudd lately, haven't we? He's seemed to have discovered YouTube lately too as a place where he can still get to see himself on TV a fair bit and even get some support from the Twitter crowd. And this week he even did what sounded like a bit of a promotion for how popular Sky News Australia has become on that same platform.
So what's their defence? Their defence is, look, YouTube channels across the world have offensive comments attached to them and other people don't take them down. Why should we? We are the Murdochs, we are Sky News, we do our best.
Now, we don't publish comments. YouTube hosts them. To me, is just so low.
It's low, it's juvenile, it's desperate. You and I know what social media is like. It is a sewer. I'm on the receiving end of my fair share of fun stuff. I just block and delete.
Yeah, and it gets to the responsibility here too. Like, we try to do that. All media organisations try to get rid of the filth that's posted there. But what about the responsibility of the digital giants too?
The responsibility of the big tech. They need to be held to account.
Well, I'd say back to the Murdoch media empire, pigs might fly. Yes, of course, there are offensive comments which are attached to everybody's YouTube channel. We get that. But the bottom line is, you're a news corporation. You have hundreds of journalists, and you carry with your branding the responsibility of being a responsible news organisation.
Black Lives Matter is not just a Marxist organisation. It is essentially a de facto terrorist organisation.
Beyond argument, this movement is based on a lie.
It is disgraceful for people to think that this is actually about Black Lives Mattering. No, it's not about that. It is about bringing down the system. It is about terrorism. It is about revolution. And it is controlled by the Democrat Party.
This really is a front for another attack on capitalism and democracy.
And let's just look at the comments which seem to have survived on your site. Comments which still legitimise racism. Comments which still legitimise race-based violence. Comments which legitimise the sorts of things which happened to this young woman, Sasha Johnson, in the United Kingdom. So guess what, Lachlan Murdoch? That ain't any defence whatsoever. It's time for you to man up, Lachlan, by taking these comments down. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do as of today. Or is it really your agenda to leave them up there because it serves your business interests? It creates a bigger far-right constituency in the country, given that your YouTube channel is now the biggest in the country, twice as big as the ABC, 3 times as big as 9, 4 times as big as 7, or heading in that direction. And that it not only is good for your bottom line, it's also good for building an even bigger far-right base of support for Murdoch and far-right political movements in Australia, just like you've done in the United States. Well, I, for one, Mr. Murdoch, will not stand idly by while this happens. Together with the vast majority of Australians, we are sick to our back teeth of this sort of behaviour from you and from those who act in your name. Lachlan Murdoch, man up and take these comments down today.